The source wall.
Star Wars Rebels.
Tell us what it is.
So wait, before we start,
Rebels.
this is purely spoilers. So if you haven't watched Rebels, I haven't watched Rebels. I've not watched any of them. I've watched probably a few episodes of the first season, but that's about it. But from what Josh has said previously, it's pretty damn interesting.
It was pretty dope, right? So Rebels wrapped up, end of the season, end of the show. It's finished, kaput. Ooh, the end. Where's it gonna go next? I don't know. I haven't seen any announcements for any new Star Wars animation. Anyway, so this last series is basically bringing. I went with the intention of like watching it, and then whereabouts it crosses with Rogue One, watching Rogue One because I still haven't watched it yet. But then I just ended up watching like. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. So yeah, Rebels. So basically, it's coming up to like a conclusion. All the little story bits are starting to like wrap up and make sense and that. For anyone who hasn't, if you do watch Rebels, make sure you watch this season. If you don't watch Rebels, but you like Star Wars, because I think the problem a lot of people had was they felt that there was a lot of filler in like all the previous seasons or whatever. I felt that with some episodes as well, but some of the stuff that he was like, oh, that's filler, it comes back in like the last few episodes. Like, well, what was that episode for about in season, at the end of season 1, somewhere in the middle, and then all the way here, it's like stuff starts coming back or whatever. So basically, all right, first let's start with the death of Kanan. I don't know how to say it. Kanan. Every time I say it, I feel like I should have an American accent, but whatever. Right, so Kanan goes out like a don. Like he literally goes out like a don. Yeah. They have the rebels have a plan to attack Empire base. And it doesn't go well, and Sabine gets captured. And then what happens? Kanan's like, oh, they split up into 2 groups, basically, yeah. One side they go, yeah. Well, actually, no, they weren't going to. They were all going to one place, but then Kanan was like, I need to go back and get her, fam. He goes off to go get her, and he does. When I tell you, he makes like the sickest entrance. Like, basically, like she's getting tortured. They're trying to get information. Where are the rebels? And all that stuff. And then none of that works in it. So they were like, right, we're gonna give her this mind shit, inject something in her brain or whatever. So they do that, and she's like, my friends are gonna come and they're gonna fuck you up or whatever. So, because she sees Kanan come down from the window, innit? And then he disappears. And then it's like, was I hallucinating? Was I not or whatever? So these 2 stormtroopers are standing there. And she's like, my man's going to come and fuck you up, fam. And then literally, I don't know, the lightsaber just comes from underneath one of them. Floor drops. My man just drops. He's dead, fam. He's gone. He's gone on that one of the Mace Windu falls. He's gone. Yeah.
Out the window, yeah?
Not out the window, through the floor. Oh. And they're like, at the top, you know them buildings that go like this. So my man's cut the hole there and he's just gone, gone. The way that the stormtroopers died this last season is so fuckery. Anyway, so Kanan gets whatever, they break out. They try to fly away in the ghost or whatever. And then General Morgan or whatever, what's her name? Not General. Whatever, that one that's like Mayor, but no. Anyway, she's like, shoot they're basically building these TIE defenders, which are like these super TIE fighters that can shoot like from bare sides and all that stuff. And the rebels are like, if they build these, we're fucked, so let's go and do it. So Morgan goes, blow up the fuel thing and it will kill the rebels. Like, but it will stop our thing of the defenders. She's like, I don't care, kill them, blow up the thing. So they shoot the fuel tank. They shoot the fuel tank. Yeah, and then what happens? Oh, there's a whole like lovey-dovey moment or whatever.
As there always is.
And yeah, there's a whole lovey-dovey moment because in like a few episodes they were like trying to kiss or whatever, and they kept getting interrupted. And I think it even happened in the middle of this mission when they were stuck in like some little alleyway or something like that. Yeah, so they start doing their little kissy whatever, and they're about to get away. They go to jump on the ship, but then it explodes. So Hera's like, "No, Kenan, come!" He's like stopping the fire with his force powers, yeah, and he's standing. And he's like, "Go!" So they all like jump on the ship, and she's coming back to get him, and he just force pushes her onto the ship. Right. And then he's holding the fire. The fire's getting bigger and bigger, whatever. It looks so sick, yeah. Then they're trying to like fly in and still get him. When he pushes her back, yeah, he pushes her onto the ship. Then he pushes the ship away, and the fire just eats him. And
he's dead.
He's dead.
Bon up.
Like a dog.
Bon up.
They spent an episode crying about it or whatever. He went out so sold.
They spent an episode crying.
It was they spent an episode literally crying about it. And then it was like, we're going to get revenge. And it basically there's another assassin that Thrawn brings in to like catch them and all this stuff, yeah. And Zeb has a fight with him. And when I tell you like literally, you know, like when you see someone pieing someone up here in the face and you know it's in the face, yeah. When you're watching like a R-rated thing, you're seeing the face go or whatever, yeah. In this, you just see Zeb and he just pounded the guy in the face. Sabine comes and is like, no, we can't do it like this. We can't do it like this. And when that guy gets killed, he gets like electrocuted to death. Like Zeb clamps his foot into like some metal railings and then climbs out and leaves him there, and then he gets electrocuted by a generator.
Okay, Disney.
Like,
damn. Okay.
And then in the last fight, all the these wolves that have been introduced, they're force sensitive, and they've been like helping them get somewhere. Like they can do like instant transportation. Like they find these teleports and they can like walk through them and then come out somewhere else, which is a whole nother thing that's been introduced into the Star Wars mythos.
Damn. Okay.
That's one thing.
Teleportation. Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, and then time travel is the other one because basically they're trying to go to like. They know that the Emperor's trying to do something at a Jedi temple, and they're trying to get there and stop it before it happens. So eventually, long story short, Ezra gets into this portal, and it's just like space with these pathways. Think like in Justice League cartoon when Mirror Masters universe, you know, when they go in there and it's like paths that lead to different doors.
Oh yeah, and he can just put his.
It's like that, but there's like these triangles where the doors are or whatever, and you can see into different moments in time. And when he walks in, all these lines are coming from different bits of the movies. Like
that reminds me of that scene from X-Men, the animated with the Apocalypse one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, yeah, when he had
the janitor, the bishop.
Yeah. So like that. Yeah. So he's looking in all these things or whatever. And then he looks into one and he sees the fight between Darth Vader and Ahsoka Tano. And he's just watching it. And the owl that always follows Ahsoka is in this space with him as well. And it's just like perched on top of one of the doorways or whatever. And he's looking into the fight. And then, you know, Ahsoka's being a badass or whatever and fighting Darth Vader. She sticks her lightsaber to the ground. The ground starts crumbling into pieces. Darth Vader's about to fall. He picks up his thing, goes to hit her. Ezra just reaches in and pulls her out. And then, well, there you go. Ahsoka's not dead, innit? So, this is the bit that I didn't tell you lot or whatever earlier. So they're just like chitty-chattering or whatever. Then you hear the Emperor, innit? And he's in his place doing like some whole Mojo Jojo.
What in that? You can hear that time thing.
Yeah, so they can see him through like one of the triangle things, innit? But he can see them as well. And he's trying to get Ezra. So he sends like this blue mist after them or whatever, and they're trying to escape from it. It grabs him or whatever. Ahsoka busts out her lightsabers, which I don't know what happened, how she got them back, because last time I saw she left them in the floor. Continuity. Anyway, she chops the hand thing or whatever. They keep running, and then they're like, let's split up so we can get out or whatever. So Ezra goes his way, Ahsoka goes it, and they're like, we'll meet each other again. We'll find each other again or whatever. So they split up. Ahsoka gets out, somewhere. I can't even remember where. And Ezra gets out on his side or whatever. And then, so the Emperor's like all in shit now as well. So then eventually, this is wrapping up because I'll just skip to the end. Ezra gets he doesn't get captured. He surrenders to Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then the Emperor's like has this Jedi temple that he moved. He was like, I moved this temple brick. Actually, no, I'm lying. He didn't have his Emperor voice. He was a hologram, but he was Palpatine in it. So he was like, okay. I have moved this thing brick by brick for you here, Ezra. You can have whatever you want. And it shows like the vision of his parents going, hey, Ezra, come, dinner's ready, and all that stuff or whatever. And then he decides to turn it away. Then he uses the Force, destroys the temple, and then the hologram starts changing. He turns it to the Emperor or whatever. So the Emperor's like, he calls his whatever, the red dudes, and he's like, kill him or whatever. And they have these like anti-gravity spears, and they hold him up in the air, and he's like just he can't do nothing in it. He can't do nothing. So then stormtroopers come in and start shooting at him, and he just gets like a brick from the temple he just crushed and starts throwing it at them. And he just does like he just murks them all. Or whatever. And when he goes to fight Thrawn, he had like this whole plan that he set out in motion, but he didn't tell anyone about it. And these flying whale things that he met in like season 2 in one of those filler episodes, they come and start mashing up all the Star Destroyers. And then like him and Thrawn are just there, and the fight's about to go down in it. And Thrawn says to him, whatever you do now is going to happen to both of us. And he goes, that's the point. Then the tentacles just fly in through all the windows and wrap up Thrawn. And then he's just like holding him there with the Force, because he's like using the Force to communicate with these whale creatures or whatever. And then Thrawn's like trying to get out and trying to fight them. All the stormtroopers get killed and thrown out the windows and everything. And then there's more of them coming through the door. And then he shuts the door with one Force. He's holding Thrawn with the other side. And now he looks exactly like how Kanan did when he died. And they're going, gotta get off the ship. You can't like go into light speeds or whatever, like, or you're gonna die or whatever. And he's like, I have to do this. And he just says, yeah, goodbye everyone or whatever. And then he just go off. And I was like, he went out like a bad man. Even though it's been confirmed that they're not dead.
Yeah, I heard that.
Like no bodies or whatever. So, and he said, like, if they do carry it on, that there's a possibility they can carry on. But yeah, my description of that was shit. So what you should do is go and watch Star Wars Rebels. I know, but there was so much going on. Like you have to see, even if you just go on YouTube and type in the last bit. Oh, and then there was like a wrap up at the end, which had them like 10 years later or something like that. And Sabine's like, oh, I'm gonna go and find Ezra. And then Ahsoka comes and meets her, and she's got like a whole white cloak on or whatever, looking like a bad boy. Yeah, whatever. So I would just say, even if you just watch the last season, like if you haven't seen the other seasons, maybe you ain't missed that much or whatever. Like, there's not that much to it.
What season was this? What season was this one? 4,
I think.
Okay. So it's not that many.
Season 4. Yeah, and because it's only short 20-minute episodes.
Star Wars Rebels, people.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say on the side note. So this whole time travel thing, like literally, because this is the first time, to my knowledge,
it's been on Star Wars.
That it's in Star Wars. Even if it was in the extended universe or whatever, that's not canon no more. So
it's interesting. It's interesting to see what they're gonna do with it, because I'm assuming they know what's happening in Rebels, because they say it's all canon. All the comics are canon. So it's interesting to try to figure out what is actually connecting. So, like you said, they're introducing time travel. Is that going to connect to any of the movies that they're going to be making in the future?
What they should do is use that whole time travel thing to put Ahsoka, even if she's older, in the movies. She could train Rey. Man. How sick would it be if she was training Rey?
Yeah, that would be sick, actually. That would be dope.
Yeah, but even then, like you wouldn't need time travel to put Ahsoka. That would be if you wanted to put young Ahsoka in the movies. If you just
Yeah,
want to
well,
Is
no,
she
I
older
just-
now, though, right?
I just mean, yeah, she's older now.
Yeah.
I just mean how you say that she was pulled out of the thing and now she's like not dead, and then like she was just, I don't know, somewhere hiding or whatever.
yeah, but even
kicking it with Mace Windu and got older. Older her trains
Yeah.
Rey. Just put her in the
I think
movies.
even, especially with what they were doing in episode 8 with all these force projections and being able to like see and touch or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like Rebels explored those things like a little bit in terms of what the Force was as the Force, and not just the powers that people could use. So in Rebels, you saw a lot of non-humanoid characters that had force powers, other beings, animals, being force sensitive and stuff like that. So it was good, like, because obviously when you watch a movie and there's only so much that can be in a movie, sitting there with them talking about explaining how force powers works is a bit like, we don't want that. But being able to see in another thing how it is, I just think it's kind of good to explore the force without having it be all flowery.
Yeah. All right, that's a good review, man.
Yeah, man. Actually made me want to watch it.
Yeah.
The source wall.